TaraChessAcademy, and today we will discuss two interesting positions in the sixth round of the World Chess Olympiad. And this is from the match of the leaders, Armenia and United States. United States has 11 points, and Armenia currently has 12 points.
Yeah, hi everyone. As Tara said, for today we prepared two very nice positions from the leaders' games. So let's start. The first position we took from the game of Sargsyan against Karana. So I think Karana is one of the strongest participants of Olympiad, but today was a bad day for him because he lost the game. And this is actually the end game that he got for black. Of course, position looks winning for white, even with like doubled isolated pawns, still like extra pawns, yeah, and probably attacking position of the white pieces and not so good position of the black king. So let's see how Sargsyan like finished the game and improved his advantage. So he continued with h6 in this position. Of course, white pieces are much closer to the black king than black pieces to the white king. So of course, white wants to make some problems for the king and attack it. Yeah, of course, it would be a bad idea to capture the pawn because of mate in one. So that's why in the game Fabiano Caruana played g5, yeah? So of course everyone and all chess beginners shouldn't forget about some special chess moves. So Tara, what would you do in this position? How would you play?
Okay, and if you remember it, I can use my pawn on f6 and capture on g6.
Yeah.
And by the way, this rule is called en passant because the black pawn started on the home base, it moved 2 squares from the home base, and the white pawn is directly beside it. So on the very next move, which is right now, we can capture that pawn on g6, or the invisible pawn.
Yeah, you're right. So in the game, Caruana captured with the queen. But unfortunately, it doesn't help. So yes, the black queen got much closer to the king, and also black has some ideas about making a checkmate. But after white played rook g7, I think that in this position, Caruana resigned. So let's think why he decided to resign in this position. So even if black captures the rook, yeah, so white takes back, and now it's not so important if the king takes or if the queen takes, because for black it's not possible to avoid queen's exchange. So let's see what happens if the black queen captures. So Tara, what ideas do you have? How could white trade queens in this position and get a winning end game?
Oh, wait. So I don't think the queen can come to the 8th rank because after the king, because the queen doesn't have to go to g8. The king can just escape to h7, and then you have no more checks to trade the queens in a good way.
Or you can't get to the 7th rank to trade the queens. So should be something else.
Right, so if we can't use the 8th rank, let's try using the h file, because that's where the king is right now. So we can go to h4, and if the king escapes to g8, then we can move our queen to either g3 or g4 and trade the queens.
Yeah, so black can't avoid this queen's exchange. Yeah, so and just an absolutely winning pawn endgame for white. So that's why Caruana resigned. Yeah,
Right.
so nice position. Let's go to the next one. So the next position we took from the game of Wesley So against Melkumian. So Wesley So won this game. The last move that black did is pawn to f5. You see that white pieces are pretty close to the black king, so of course white wants to start an attack. And after f5, Wesley sacrificed the knight, so he decided to improve his attack in this way. Then he captured, yeah, so two strong bishops that white has, a queen and a rook close to the king, so for black it could be a little bit hard to protect this position. Right now black played queen d6, Wesley so checked knight g6, and now Wesley so found an interesting plan, like a combination in combination, let's say, yeah, in tactics and tactics. So he played rook takes d5. In the game, Melkumian played queen f6, didn't capture the rook, but let's discuss why would be bad for black, like playing queen takes d5 in this position.
Okay, so some of the thoughts I have are that the king and queen are in the same diagonal, but we can't really use that. We can't move our bishop to c4 or our queen to e6 because then it would just get captured. So let's forget about the diagonal and take a look at the king. So I noticed that the queen, knight, and king are in the same file, and if I find a way to capture the knight, maybe the king will get more exposed because the knight is a defender of the king. So I'll use my bishop and capture the knight.
Okay, so bishop takes. Yeah, if the pawn takes, then we just have mate on g7. I think even if black doesn't capture, yeah, for instance, if the, I don't know, rook moves away, so of course this position is still winning. We can even try bishop f4, check, yeah, we attacking the queen. So, and like, of course, position is just losing for black. So let's go to the positions that happened in the game. As we said before, black played queen f6. So now white played g3 in this position. So to be honest, I don't see the whole plan. Maybe it's against queen h4, trying to trade queens. Maybe just kind of like wait and move. And Wesley also wanted to see what gonna black do. Maybe he also has a plan to play later h4, h5. So bishop f8 was played with idea to trade bishops. Of course, black wants to trade white attacking pieces. So played rook f5, taking the queen. Queen goes to e7, and of course, if white has such a strong bishop, I'm talking about light square bishop, so it would be very powerful to use it in attack. Bishop goes to c4, king h8, and of course white doesn't want to trade dark square bishop. It could help to improve attacks. Wesley played bishop g5. After this move, I think that Melkumian resigned. Let's see why like the Grandmaster decided to stop playing in this position. Probably because there is nothing black can do against these two strong bishops. Let's think what happened if black plays queen d6, for instance. Of course, we can try a check on f6 with the bishop, yeah, but maybe Tara, it's even better to play rook f6, yeah, keeping in mind an idea about maybe sacrifice on g6 or trying
Yeah.
to get to f7 to the 7th rank later. And for instance, if the queen moves here to try to hold the 7th rank, I think it's a very good time to move the rook there. And
Yeah.
when black tries to save the queen, what happens, Tara? Maybe there is some tactics in this position.
Okay, so now I have a few ideas. So my ideas are either bishop to f6 or maybe possibly rook takes h7. So
Hmm.
I don't think I have a good feeling about bishop to f6. because if the bishop blocks to g7,
Maybe we still can capture it. I'm pretty sure that this position is still winning for white, but probably there is no forced mate in 3, like after
yeah.
bishop f6. So, but I think if we choose another variation, so white has just mate, forced mate in this position.
Yeah, so just like we tried before about trying to remove the defenders near the king, I'll try to remove the pawn. So I'll use my rook and capture that pawn.
So rook takes h7, yeah. You see the king even can't move to g8 because of the bishop. So king takes. What happens then?
Okay, so now that we removed the defender of the king, we can use our queen and move it to h5.
Okay. The king escapes.
Yeah, and then I think we can move our queen to h6 and make a checkmate.
Yeah, so it's mate. Yeah, so of course, when it's a game between two strong top-level grandmasters, like they usually don't play till the checkmate, so that's why now it's more clear why after bishop g5, black decided to stop playing this position. Yeah, because it's not possible to avoid like losing material or mate very soon.
Right. So I hope you learned from these two positions. I hope you learned the tactics and the calculations to attacking the king. Like both of these puzzles were really about attacking the king, and if the opponent decided to play on, eventually it would lead to a checkmate. So I hope you improved in the tactics, and I hope you enjoyed this video too. And if you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video to others. I'll see you on my next video. Bye!
Bye!